I do want to ask a bit about your journey being the youngest and fastest to paddle around Australia, but just what brought on this I guess motive to take this on in the first place?
I went to Broadbeach Library. It was literally in the middle of COVID. We were in lockdown. And I read the story about the woman who paddled around Australia in 2009. And I just couldn't get it out of my head that I could do this paddle. So it then began this planning process, this intense 12 months of trying to find a crew and a skipper and a catamaran and come up with the money that was needed. But yeah, it was myself picking up a book at the library, which is just so crazy to think.
That's amazing. And you are a world record holder now. How does it feel?
Yeah, no, it feels wonderful. Thank you. One of the coolest moments I had was at book week this year. I had a couple of the little girls go as me and
Oh,
from my book and have the flag and sort of the paddle and everything, which was super cute.
I do know that with this paddle, part of the reason that you wanted to do it was to raise some money. But why was it about this challenge?
It was something about the idea of paddling around Australia that just seemed so wild and, that impossible, I guess, in a way. Not just the physical element, the logistics. So, crocodiles inhabit a third of our coastline. The great whites like the warm and the cold water. You've got huge seas at the bottom. It's 40 something degrees at the top of the country. It's near freezing at the bottom. So there was something about it that just seemed so big and scary that I knew I had to take it on. I initially justified to myself and go, I'll just go to Sydney. I'll just paddle to Sydney. That'll get a whole bunch of attention, like media. I can raise a bunch of money and do some good. And I'll just go to Sydney. And then I realized I would be selling myself short. I realized that I wouldn't find my limits in Sydney. I would only find them if I took this whole big thing on. And I learned how big our country is. It's rugged, it's beautiful, it's often terrifying, but best thing I have ever done and best decision I made, as scary as it was actually committing to it.
You almost died of hypothermia. You've had to paddle through, yeah, like you said, shark infested waters, crocodiles as well. Like, what did it take to get through those challenges when you had those moments where you were like, I don't know if I can keep going?
There were days where, say, over a 200-kilometre day, I would break it into 10 kilometres at a time. And there was a time where I did 213 and I baked myself cupcakes the day before. And I said to my crew, just give me a cupcake every 50K, not before, not after, on 50K. And that would sometimes get me through just breaking it into those sections of 50 kilometres. So there's always a way to break it down. But I tell you, it was so hard to keep going sometimes. Like when they saw 3 crocodiles near my ski and I had to find a way to keep going in the brown water with these logs floating around me, you just want to stop. You just want to get on the boat and you really, really just want to go home. But you know that you're only ever going to have one chance to do it. So you've just got to find a way. As hard and painful, as scary as it is, you just find a way to keep going.
What was the point where you kind of were like, maybe I should write a book about this? Was it during the paddle? Was it after the paddle?
Definitely after. Actually, mind you, it was when the shark popped up in Western Australia that I thought we cannot make up this stuff that's happening. There's a book in this. I started journaling from that point on, and then getting back, I used those journals. I did interviews with my crew. I looked at all the Strava data and I started just writing. And I thought, even if I don't land a publisher, I'll be able to self-publish. So it was writing the book for me, for my crew, for my husband, just to put everything down on paper. And I was just so blessed that HarperCollins said yes. And they've been the most amazing publishers.
What do you hope people can actually take away and learn from the book?
I hope that people can, whatever that thing is that they want to do, that big goal that they've got, if it's traveling to the other side of the world, whatever it is, just to go and do it, just to go and do it. You owe it to yourself. Do your research. As I said, if you need to talk to those in your team, in your corner, just go and do it. If it's sport, as I say, for me, in the water or out of the water, on the track or out of the track, go and chase that big goal because you're capable of so much more than what you think.